This video will save you 10,000 hours, $5,000 and one heartbreak, because that's what I had to spend to understand the most vital rule when it comes to dating. And it is captured perfectly in a recent story from one of my clients. He'd met somebody new and they were starting to casually date, and he was super excited and he really wanted to turn things with this girl into something serious. The only problem was they kept encountering this communication issue. So for example, they on a weekend had organised to go ice skating on the Thursday, and verbally they'd agree, in person it'd be great. But then when it came to Thursday, he would have booked their tickets, and then when he goes to sort of organise the plan specifically of time they meet, she'd get frustrated at him that he didn't consult with her, he didn't ask for her opinion, didn't check in to make sure the plan was confirmed. And these things kept reoccurring where they'd maybe have a plan organised and then it wouldn't quite happen. She'd bail on it and it just kept happening, and he just found it difficult to organise and text with her. And to be fair to him, I don't even think he was being too needy with it. He was just trying to keep coordinating and organising because he did really want something to happen with this girl. And that led us all up to the most recent Friday, where she ended up doing the same thing of messing with the coordinating of plans, saying they have breakdowns in communications, and saying that she just wanted to be friends. And he was gutted, obviously. And when we spoke about it, I told him that he only really made one mistake. He was blaming himself of all of the things that he'd potentially done to cause this problem. And I told him it's just one thing. And I know that because I'd gone through something similar. About sort of a couple of years ago, I was dating a girl that I met her in the airport, and she was amazing. Like, she was a model and a gymnast, and I really wanted to have a relationship with this girl. And when we were in person, it'd be great. We'd be getting intimate, having such a good time, and it always felt like she really wanted to be together. But then I'd try and coordinate things and try and organise things, and she'd just be difficult. Things would come up, things would get in the way. She'd bail on plans at the last minute, and it'd be super difficult of just this hot and cold. And this area of hot and coldness, of trying to win over the girl that you really want, this is honestly where the majority of the more sus end of the dating market thrives, of trying to convince men that you can still get her. Fortunately, I had learnt my lesson by this point. I'd spent the hours, I'd spent the heartbreak, and I'd spent some money developing myself. I knew the fundamental rule of dating. So I walked away from this girl. And funny, like, how things turn out, despite this girl being so incredible on paper, all these things, and me having such a desire, and someone who's probably pretty competent with this whole dating thing, not being able to make the relationship happen, well, she's still single. And it comes back to the same reason that the client went through, that we should only be trying to date people who want to date us. Because fundamentally, often when it comes to this relationship process, people are trying to turn a no into a yes. And the signs are always there. And I know this because not long after dating one of these girls, I ended up meeting somebody new. And any time I went to coordinate stuff, she was always so easy and helpful to coordinate with. If she couldn't do it, she'd suggest a different time. She'd actively try and plan dates. This is what we're looking for. Too many men spend hours doing the analysis of texting over and over. Oh, what if I'd have said this? What if I had done this? What if I'd appeared more charming? What if, here's a question that I got posed, what if I'd have taken flowers? Shall I take flowers to a date? None of this bloody matters, because the thing is, her decision was made up already, and so many guys lose hours upon hours thinking about what they could have done differently when it was nothing to do with you. You were playing a team game with a team player that was trying to sabotage you. Anyone that's played one of those board games where you're trying to accomplish a mission and someone on the team is actually like a saboteur and working against you, and the frustration you get, that's the sensation you'll have in dating when you're dating a girl that simply just isn't interested in dating you. Like, they might enjoy the company, they might enjoy even being with you and having like a bit of physical intimacy, but they're never actually wanting to date you. And if you were truly honest, the signs were there. So many dudes are just trying to craft the perfect text to win her over. I made that mistake as well. I remember scripting out a voice note that I could read off that I was like, this is so smart, I'm not being needy, I'm doing all this stuff, I'm gonna win her over, she's gonna come meet me. I send the voice note, amazing, she's sort of warmed up again, she's receptive, we go on the date. Then after that date, what happens again? She goes back cold again, things become difficult. Here is the #1 rule of dating. Date people who want to date you. And if you're looking at me now being like, well, the people that I want to date don't want to date me. Well, that was my life for absolutely years. I tell like the story here on this channel so many times of how I grew up being someone who really wanted a girlfriend, but was single, was struggling, never even kissed a girl, all these things. And whilst that is true, like, there were occasionally girls that were interested, but there were ones that I fundamentally wasn't. And that's what it is, the case for men. And if that's the case for you, then if you can't find date people who want to date you, and if the people you want to date don't want to date you, then it comes down to simply improving, showing what you have to offer and bringing it out more, developing yourself to have something more about you. And that is actually easier than you would expect. And if you want to know how to do that, how to get in front of 99% of guys, because I've done that transformation, I've helped I've helped a bunch of other guys do it as well, then check out this video here where I run through how you can get in front of 99% of men super easily.